righty, everybody. As we just see Owen Zealing fan. Or it's an asterisk from battery, or it's an asterisk from batteries not included. I don't know. One of the two.
Get closer to it. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's a better view of it. Here's my ceiling fan. Have fun.
I see how. So, yeah, as put in the description, this weekend is the start of the guilds. It's pretty much. Well, I was going to say it's one a week. It's actually nothing between now and the end of the month. Because DGA apparently wants to be 3 weeks early.
That makes a whole bunch of sense.
But yeah, so we've got PGA and the Actors, as it's now known, on the same weekend, and then Writers Guild the week after, which is the week before the Oscars. So, but the fact
I
is,
think
we aren't. Although we won't cover the DGA probably until we get to, we probably mention it along with the spirits. But yeah, so we got the spirits the week after, BAFTAs the week after that, and then with PGA. So it's aside from this week where we can't see the DGAs because I don't think they stream it anywhere. It'll be some sort of broadcast show for the next 3 weeks, starting from Valentine's Day weekend.
So this is the first time, I think, other than maybe in passing, we've actually mentioned the Actor Awards under that name.
Yeah.
I think we've still just been, like, conditioned to continuously call it SAG, which I'm sure we will anyway. But I mean, for sake of hashtags on social media, I feel like hashtag Actor Awards has to be on there now.
I guess my way of looking at it is like saying the Actor Awards is the equivalent of calling it the Oscars, and calling it the SAG Awards is the equivalent of calling it the Academy Awards.
Sure.
Basically. But yeah, I'm never going to be able to break the habit of calling it SAG, so, but I assume everybody will know what we're talking about anyway.
Anybody that's watching this is going to know what SAG is. Anybody that is newer to this whole deal of paying attention to award season, they may just call it the Actor Awards because that's what they're used to because it's new and fresh.
So yeah, I think. Shall we start off as we? Shall we start off in like? Well, we'll leave the Actors till last because it's the one that we can watch. I don't know which order.
We're gonna cover every single guild tonight. That's always been the deal anyway. No matter how early or late everything is, we're gonna cover all 3 guilds and then the Actor Awards.
Yeah, so it just depends which order you want to do them, AJ.
All right, I gotta bring them all up now.
I suppose we could start with DGA because it's the soonest, but I feel like we usually start with WGA and then work up, but we could do DGA first if everybody wants to.
Yeah, it should be fine.
I assume Ashley will read these first 3 off. I don't have them in front of me at the moment.
No problem. So, for DGA, we have Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. Ryan Coogler for Sin. Oh, wait, hang on. Documentary first. I'm ahead of myself. Whoa. For documentary feature, we have Mustaliaf Chernov for 2,000 meters to Andrivka, Geeta Ganderbir for Perfect Neighbor, Sarah Kaki and Mohammad Zendra Iani for Cutting Through Rocks, Elizabeth Lowe for Mistress Dispeller, and Laura Poitras and Mark Obenhaus for Cover Up.
I feel like they're all possible. Obviously, you'd immediately want to go to the two Oscar nominees first, but I wouldn't be surprised if 2000 Meters to Andreevka could do this. But for the sake of lingering on this for too long, I'm just going to play it safe and say the perfect neighbor.
I'm also going to go for perfect neighbor, but I can see this literally, as you said, AJ, going to any one of the five, to be fair.
I also concur with, excuse me, the perfect neighbor.
Be one of those nights.
Apparently.
For first time feature, we have Hassan Hardy for President's Cake, Harry Lighton for Pillion, Charlie Pollinger for The Plague, Alex Russell for Lurker, and Ava Victor for Sorry Baby.
I really feel like it's totally, completely possible for this to be the plague.
Oh, yeah.
But you know how badly I want to say Ava Victor. um, Usually I go against what I'm hoping for, but oh, God damn it.
I wouldn't hear.
Are we under the impression it's down to those two?
Pillion could be possible, too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
'Cause
gonna
Pillion just had its like American sort of release, didn't it? Semi-wide.
I think it was limited. I think it actually is limited this month. Like maybe
okay.
the end of the month. Or maybe it's wide this month. It was limited the end of January. I know that we didn't get it. And we were listed quite literally in a top list of the most successful AMC theaters in the chain. So yeah, they're going to take care of us.
A24 will be releasing Pillion starting Friday.
Cool. I hope we get it because there's a lot of note on Friday's schedule right now.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with the win-win scenario. I'm gonna say the plague. I actually haven't seen the plague yet, so I'm not like rooting against it.
It's
Um,
pretty
I,
good.
I just really want Victor to get this, so it'll be like a win-win where at least I'll get this right if Victor loses, and then if Victor wins, I'm okay to not have gotten this right.
I have seen the plague, and it's definitely worthy of anything it wins, for sure.
I'm a no- See, to me, not to discredit President's Cake, but to me it's down to the other four, and I'm trying to work out which way they might go. Um,
I don't know when that's coming out either. I have seen the trailer for it, though.
well, it is worth noting for the. I know it's the first time in a while, but all five of these are written by the same director as well.
Huh.
Usually you get, you know, most of them be in that sort of situation because that's how it usually is for first time features, but not always. I think we get five. Sometimes it's different, you know, different screenwriters. So maybe you see as an upset. I'm going to say Pillion.
All right.
But I could realistically see any of the four. You know, I could see. It depends. You know, it depends who Nolan is basically. I mean, I know Nolan's only the sort of figurehead and whatever, but I always feel at least sometimes with the DGA, the sort of what people are looking for sort of kind of shifts with who the president is, sort of thing. and I'm not just going with it because it's the British one. I think it's sort of the in terms of direction and what it has to do. I think it's probably a stronger contender than in other categories if it was in there, because I don't think Pillion was WGA eligible. So I'll say Pillion on this one, but it's probably everything but the President's Cake, which means the President's Cake wins it.
I think we're grossly underestimating Lurker at this point. It's the only one we've yet to mention. So it's funny because here I was thinking that it was just going to be everybody's going to pick the same exact thing on for everything when it came to the guilds, and right away we get thrown a curveball. AJ's going with something he hasn't seen that he has some confidence in, as he should, because it's really solid. Ashley's going with what could possibly be the British skew. However, it is something that rightfully should do quite well and has done quite well so far, even in visibility. I'm going for the movie I haven't seen that I really wish I should have. I am going with Eva Victor for Sorry Baby. So either you get a point or you get a win.
Or neither.
So works both ways.
And then for feature film, we have Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Ryan Coogler for Sinners, Guillermo del Toro for Frankenstein, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, and Chloe Zhao for Hamnet.
Well, obviously, this has been going a certain way for a while now. And of course, nominations day happened, and Sinners broke the nomination record by 2, and everybody that doesn't typically follow the race now assumes that Sinners is going to take over.
Yeah.
I mean, which would be cool, but I will say, even though that's not the direction I'm going, we have seen this before.
Sure.
So if Coogler was going to take over, this is where it would start. But I'm still saying Paul Thomas Anderson. So but I mean, it's not impossible that the race starts to shift now that we're in these parts.
Sure.
But I'm not gonna bet on that right now.
Yeah, I'm sticking with PTA. A long overdue DGA, considering it's only Licorice Pizza and There Will Be Blood he's got nominated for in the past.
It's been a long time coming, and this is the season it finally happens. Paul Thomas Anderson is finally getting his flowers, and it's about damn time. DGA, and then all the way to the Oscar, with maybe a hiccup thrown in just to make it interesting along the way. But I'd like it to be a sweep the rest of the way. That'd be nice. And we're not doing anything for TV. We're only doing movies for the guilds.
Well, apart from SAG?
Well, SAG's different.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the 3-letter acronyms for the 3 awards. SAG's different. Okay.
So, we'll switch to WGA now, I think.
Okay.
Just because sort of the precedent that PGA usually has, supposedly, with Best Picture, thought I'd make it a semi-main. So, plus, WGA is the semi-irrelevant one.
Yeah.
usually, except this year, bloody adapted match. So we'll get to that. First up, for best documentary at WGA, we've got 2,000 Meters to Andrivka, Becoming Led Zeppelin, and White with Fear.
I'll say 2,000 meters to Andrivka because I don't really know what else to say.
I mean, I want to say Becoming Led Zeppelin just so it'll get some sort of recognition, but yeah, I will stick with 2,000 Meters to Andrivka too.
I make this big speech about how everything is going to be split up a little bit. And once again, we all pick the same because it makes sense. Now we wonder if 1,000 Meters is going to win the documentary award at DGA, and then...
Well, it's also, well, I never know what exactly writing is when it comes to documentaries.
Certainly.
There is like narration kind of at the beginning and end, and maybe in like some middle portions, but for the most part, it's all in the moment footage. So I suppose this is another one of those cases where it probably could just be any of those three. But if you want to go with the one that's had like the most mentions so far as an easy choice,
sure,
that would be 2,000 Meters to Andrivka. So yeah,
that makes sense.
Then to Adapted, we have Will Tracy's script for Begonia, Del Toro's script for Frankenstein, Zhao and Maggie O'Farrell's script for Hamnet, PTA script for One Battle After Another, and Clint Bensley and Greg Quador's script for Train Dreams.
I don't know what's making me say this, but I've been saying for a while now that if the guild, because sometimes, not often, but sometimes there's years where the guilds just go fucking crazy.
Certainly.
The guild, even when the stuff that's at the top of the competition is in there, sometimes the guilds just go rogue. Especially here. And I've been saying, for some reason, I feel like if the guilds are gonna go rogue, they're gonna favor Hamnet.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what's making me say that, but it's a feeling I've had for like at least a couple of months now.
It makes complete sense, honestly, if you really think about it.
However, like we were talking about with DGA, I'm not gonna be the one that bets against Paul Thomas Anderson, but if anybody else wants to, it could get interesting, but I feel good about where PTA is at right now.
Yeah, I'm just double checking. Has he won? No. Nominated for Boogie Nights Magnolia, There'll Be Blood, The Master, and Licorice Pizza, and for some reason they haven't got One Battle After Another credited there. Again, I think it's roughly 30 years overdue.
Yeah, because in 2021 we thought they were practically going to hand it to him for Licorice Pizza, and that's when Don't Look Up said,
Hold my beer.
not so fast. Yeah, it's going to be a fun year. I'm going to be very happy when it happens. AJ, you got a very good point. Chloe Zhao is definitely hanging in the wings, 100%. If they want to give flowers to Hamlet, and through the movie itself for Hamlet, you'd be able to do it this way. And I feel that it's very likely that could happen. I mean, honestly, even your beloved Train Dreams is a possibility here, too. And I officially can say that I will be watching again on Friday is also an option as well.
I sense slight hostility in that your precious Train Dreams.
just a tad. I still have to wait to the beginning of March, but it's happening. I know it is. And of course, the movie I'm watching Friday is Begonia for the second time. because I want a second viewing of it. And yes, there's nothing to watch on Friday. I was like, yes, I'm going to do this. So I want another shot at it. So Will Tracy could easily be a winner here too. That being said, I'm not going to bet against PTA either, and no one should. But you never know what they may do. It's a guild after all. Guilds can really surprise you every year.
So just checking stuff on the side. Bloody BAFTA is trying to cover its own face. Apparently, the singing voices of K-pop demon hunters are going to be performing Golden as part of their ceremony, even though the film isn't eligible to be nominated. Thanks, BAFTA. We're trying to be trendy, but also you're not trendy. Whatever.
I mean, it didn't win no Grammy last night, so there you go.
I don't, guys. I don't fucking get it with that song.
I mean, if the world was the way it used to be, I would watch this song get skewered in Bill and Ted and laugh hysterically. But we don't live in a world where Bill and Ted exists anymore. We still have the hanging though, thankfully. So I'm sure Knott's is going to put a nice little spike through the heart of K-pop demon hunters, and I'm excited to watch those videos this season. But yeah, and it's also like Diane Warren was talking about. It's like it sucks that she can't perform her song or be around, or no one else can perform the song because it's either Golden or I lied to you, and no one else matters apparently. Sure, let's go.
Imagine if somebody else wins that award. It'd be like, so you had the performances for kind of no reason. Well done, Academy. Good job. Right, to original, which is
This is a little more difficult, but not really.
yeah. So we have Black Bag. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Mighty Supreme, Sinners and Weapons from David Kirk, Mary Bronstein, Ronald Bronstein and Josh Safdie, Ryan Coogler and Zach Krager, respectively.
You could, and this could be another case where a guild could go rogue, but just kind of in the overall sense, not that long ago, I would have said Sinners and Marty Supreme were close.
Right.
But I feel like, especially if like one battle is going to be the big movie of the night, and Frankenstein might give it a lot of trouble in the tech categories.
Right.
I see no reason not to like almost practically lock in on Sinners and screenplay.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's meant to be. So I'm gonna say that happens here as well.
Yeah, I am going with Sinners as well.
I mean, there's some really solid choices here. But at the end of the day, I mean, if Ryan Coogler doesn't win this, I mean, this is the only legitimate award I feel that Sinners is penciled in to win right now. Like, overall. This is the one that has the best chance to win. Overall.
I know arguments could be made, but I feel like score, I feel pretty confident in.
Score is very likely, but there's so many. There's great options. There's lots of great options in score.
I don't fucking get how I Lied to You can't run away with song, but we just had that conversation, so.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, we could get surprised. Who knows? But not this one. Sinners wins.
Then we switch over to the Peach. Producers Guild, so a bit more populated this one. So for documentary feature, we have The Alabama Solution, Cover Up, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, My Mom Jane, Ocean with David Attenborough, The Perfect Neighbor, and The Tale of Cillian.
I'm going easy, and I'm saying The Perfect Neighbor. I feel like it could be. Yeah, it could be anyone. I suppose if you'd want to narrow it down to the there's what, 3 nominated ones in there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but I'm just gonna go safe and say The Perfect Neighbor because even though I've seen most of these, I still feel like overthinking it wouldn't do me any good anyway.
I think there's a chance Perfect Neighbor gets it here as well, which usually means it doesn't necessarily win at the Oscars. But we've got 4 or 5 weeks to work out what's going on with that.
Trying to figure that one out.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it? I can't even remember what its competition was now, but when Icarus won at the Oscars,
Ooh.
wasn't it everybody's like fifth choice that year? I wish I could remember what the other movies were, but I can't. I think that was it 2011, that movie Undefeated, I think was the same way. It was like the last one on people's radars.
Let's have a quick check. Documentary feature. Where is it? Icarus. Yeah, so the other nominees that year were Abacus, Small Enough to Jail, Faces Places, Last Men in Aleppo, and Strong Island. I certainly,
I think.
I'd have probably had Faces Places and Last Man in Aleppo ahead. The other
Yep.
two, I'm not so sure on.
I think that might be what I'm thinking of. Is that we like everybody thought it was down to those two, and then Icarus just kind of all right.
I checks out. Yeah, lots of options here. A lot of things that are Oscar nominated. Some that were predicted by us that weren't Oscar nominated, and a bunch of question marks about if they could really go with something that hasn't really had much visibility at all. But honestly, yeah, I feel like Perfect Neighbor is the right answer here.
For animated feature, we have Bad Guys 2, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Naiba Infinity Castle, Leo K-pop Demon Hunters, and Zootopia 2.
K-pop Demon Hunters, I guess. Are we?
I can see them going Zootopia 2, but I think it's probably going to be K-pop.
I
So
was
that
I was just about to ask, are we even sure Zootopia is second? I don't even know anymore actually. I would think, but I don't know.
in
I
that
mean, it kind of
list,
has to be if you look at the rest of the nominees.
I would have certainly thought it was ahead of Elio at least.
Yeah.
It's a question whether PGA how they feel about Demon Slayer. To be fair,
Mm-hmm.
there's a chance that that could be up there. In which case, it
I
would
would say,
kind of be sort of two foreign, or at least foreign-based, projects in with a hunt.
I could also see Demon Slayer winning, forever bringing up the conspiracy that voters just saw the word demon, thinking it was K-pop Demon Hunters, and voted for it.
yeah, I feel like it's K-pop Demon Hunters. I feel like it's a sweep for the panel.
And then the big one, the 10. So we have Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Mighty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Train Dreams, and Weapons.
Again, if there's gonna be a split or something, this is Sinners' opportunity. Again, unless they do something crazy like Hamnet or something. But like the way all of these conversations have ended, I'm still going with one battle after another. But again, this if there's going to be a race, this will be where it starts. So, well, not necessarily. BAFTA usually starts up some races at the last minute, but yeah, I'm gonna say one battle here.
I will go one battle as well, but yeah, I can see Sinners getting this. To some extent, I could also see Hamnet getting this, and makes at least it's not just Warner Brothers versus Warner Brothers. Have another studio make it in.
Oh,
It's it.
So we're ready for the show.
Well, after I officially commit to the fact that one battle after another is winning PGA, yes.
All right. Well, I guess the first thing we need to mention is the Harrison Ford thing, which is nice.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The Life Achievement Award, yeah.
I assume that's something that we do get those on air here, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we know his speech will probably be minimal, so that'll be good for timing.
Very true.
All right. So we've got TV stuff first.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with stunts in TV.
That's what it looks like.
All right. This might be easy. We've got Anne Damon Stranger Things. I guess, just based on that big episode, I'm gonna say Andor. But we're really just guessing these, right?
I will say Andor as well because I don't think there was enough. There wasn't enough action in Squid Game, and I think with Stranger Things being the thing that it was, the very come see come saw sort of mixed approach to it. Plus, it's them might make Star Wars might make Disney go. Maybe we do just need to make more Star Wars TV series, but just not do too many at the same time, so people go, we've seen too much Star Wars.
This is an interesting one because when you have no knowledge of television, this stuff's basically the only thing I can think of to do is go back to what has won in the past. Or the fact that I feel that I'm tired of seeing stuff on Landman. I don't think that's going to win anything. The Last of Us seems like it's already got its flowers. Squid Game and Stranger Things already won. So I feel like everything cancels itself out. So the only answer was Andor.
Works out.
Let's hope so. We're all going to get a point or we're all getting nothing. So there you go.
So, miniseries stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which, another year, another SAG Awards where I lament that this doesn't have an ensemble for some reason. Whatever. Okay. You asked me before we started, did I already have my answers? And I said, I think pretty much I forgot till I'm looking at it right now. This is one I was stuck on, but I'll get it figured out.
Okay.
For actress in a limited series. There's no TV movies, right? I don't think anywhere.
No.
As usual. We've got Claire Danes for The Beast in Me, Erin Doherty for Adolescence, Sarah Snook for All Her Fault, Christine Tremarco for Adolescence, and Michelle Williams for Dying for Sex. Erin Doherty's been the most consistent winner here, of course. But she's also a supporting performance amongst 3 leading ones. And honestly, I was kind of leaning because we started with the Sarah Snook thing, and that went well. And then we thought we'd stay on the Snook thing, and then it was Michelle Williams.
Right.
And just when Dying for Sex first came out, my first thought was, oh, there's Michelle Williams getting all the miniseries awards. And especially here with SAG, that's kind of what I'm still leaning towards, even with Erin Doherty here and Snook here as possible other choices. But since it's SAG, I think I'm gonna go Michelle Williams, even if I may regret it.
Again, because I'm thinking on the logic of it's the actors for the actors deal. I'm saying Snook on this one. I'd like it to be Doherty. If it was Tremarco, despite the fact that she had no recognition from any of the others, including the Emmys, that'd be hilarious. But yeah, I'll go with Snook.
So AJ, you say that Erin Doherty's performance is a supporting performance amongst a bunch of leading performances. Is that what your comment is?
She's in 1 episode, yeah.
That's the reason why.
Mind you, she's the lead of that episode.
See, that's the reason why I'm going with her, because she's got to be special to have 1 episode be enough to make her such a threat in these categories.
It's true.
And keep in mind, because of the way SAG works for the actor awards, no one here's won before. So that's another thing. There's not really a precedent that was set before. Michelle Williams hasn't won since 2019.
That's why she won for False Story. Yeah.
Yeah. But no one else. Everybody else. Well, Claire Danes won in 2010. Anyway, so
the SAG, if there's one thing we know, it's that SAG does love a repeat winner.
Yes. So I completely forgot about Claire Danes winning already before. It seems like it's a performance that I don't hear anything about based upon anything that you guys have talked about with any of the other 4 nominees. But yeah, I feel that if it's a supporting performance that can compete with leading performances, why not give it the win? Erin Doherty.
Another 3-way split. That's fun.
Yes. I don't know if we can keep that up. Depends on how confident I feel.
This one's another one that requires some thought. For actor in a miniseries, we've got Jason Bateman for Black Rabbit, Owen Cooper for Adolescence, Stephen Graham for Adolescence, Charlie Hunnam for Monster, and Matthew Rhys for The Beast in Me. So we're thinking Graham or Cooper, right?
Certainly.
A random swerve to Jason Bateman would be incredible. But what I'm thinking is I can imagine a lot of people leaning Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
But given how the show also comes from his voice, and he's somebody that has a lot of background with SAG, because he's been in so much and has had a long career in a lot of big things. I think I'm leaning Stephen Graham.
Yeah, it's annoying there isn't sort of a breakthrough performance. Because in that sense, Cooper would win it. I think because Graham is obviously producer, it's basically, he co-wrote the thing, and he's pretty much. I think maybe him and possibly Cooper are the only two that are predominantly in all 4 episodes. To a lesser extent, the one with Doherty, but like they all sort of have their key scenes. Both Cooper and Graham, I feel, within all 4. I will give the edge to Stephen Graham as well.
Yeah, I forgot. I forgot Cooper's voice is in the last episode because of the phone scene.
I feel like it is pretty much customary in this point that we go with somebody from adolescence. And my name is literally staring me right in the face right now. Would be the youngest winner of this award in history, if I had to guess.
I would think.
So.
And although there's signs pointing me towards it, and there's also signs pointing me towards Jason Bateman here too. Because Jason Bateman covers the checkbox of I look at most of these winners throughout history, and they're all like heavy hitters in Hollywood, or they all became heavy hitters in Hollywood, not just for television, just for everything, for film. Colin Farrell won last year, and he beat a lot of really solid talent. And there's a lot of great names here, and I kind of just want to go with Jason Bateman here. And I kind of want to go with my own namesake here because I feel like a precedent would be set for history to be made. The first actor awards with the youngest actor award given out. I think that's a pretty good narrative. I'm going Owen Cooper.
All right, let's go ahead and do a somber category, an unexpectedly somber category, which we would not have thought last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what's actually crazy? And this will probably be something that never happens again. I was kind of looking these over a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the tab open, this Wikipedia tab open, and I just kind of left it there overnight.
Oh no.
And I was able to make posthumous pop up by refreshing. It was just something sad about that.
I definitely we have lots we should say and need to say. It's the first time I've been able to talk about this on camera. I had always said, and AJ knows this, that there was a vision I had back in the day about a fictitious script that would be about my life at the time. And I had always said, no matter what happened, my parents would forevermore be Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara. My dad looks nothing like Eugene Levy, 1,000,000%. However, my mom would be incredibly portrayed by Catherine O'Hara. And I knew that. That's the reason why I always said it. I'm a big Chris Guessmark, obviously. I love Mitch and Mickey. I love the fact that that was played live in the last several years, which was incredible. Kiss at the End of the Rainbow is one of the best songs on Mighty Wind. You can fight me if you don't believe it. Um, I I never watched Schitt's Creek ever. I feel like it's something I definitely could get into, but it's just my whole thing about television. And weird thing to say, her last thing she did on the big screen was Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Which has a very poignant ending for her character now, based on this.
And she also has her own soda can with her face on it.
Thanks, Fanta.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it was crazy because you don't I mean, she was always there, but you don't quite realize the legacy until you go through everything and realize how long the list is.
It's weird. It's like we have talked about her forever and a day on this channel, like since day one, in one way, shape, or form when it comes to movies, like little anecdotes along the way, talking about film roles and everything. Not necessarily like verses or reviews, those are there too. But we've talked about those performances, those iconic performances. And we will continue to talk about those iconic performances because even though now it's posthumous, I still believe she was going to win this regardless, honestly. Something was telling me, don't bet against the studio this season.
Yeah, it's interesting too because of I mean, you had figured with her list she was probably beloved.
Certainly.
But I still don't know if we could have predicted the outpouring as it's come has been like monumental.
I would
like
say
you go to anybody and you say, "What do you know her for?" Somebody's gonna say Home Alone, somebody's gonna say Schitt's Creek, somebody's gonna say The Guest Movie, somebody's gonna say Beetlejuice, somebody's gonna say SCTV, somebody's gonna say The Studio, somebody's gonna say The Night Before Christmas.
And they're all right. I saw that Hollywood Bowl performance they did with Danny Elfman and Paul Rubens. It was glorious. Yeah. That was amazing.
So, with all that, yeah, not to mention she's two characters at least. Because is it Shock that's the witch?
I believe so. I haven't seen NBC in a long time.
Yeah, and Sally, obviously.
Well, yeah.
So she's all over that soundtrack.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So with that in mind, now that we've said all that, our nominees for actress in a comedy series are Catherine Hahn for The Studio, Catherine O'Hara for The Studio, Jenna Ortega for Wednesday, Jean Smart for Hacks, and Kristen Wiig for Palm Royale. So I think Kristen Wiig has a pretty big industry fan base, but
yeah, she does.
And honestly, I'm kind of surprised Jenna Ortega's here. I'm not against it. I'm just kind of surprised.
They've really latched on to Wednesday, and you can definitely. That's another person that has a fan of Soda Can now. Thanks to that movie.
I couldn't remember off the top of my head what exactly is Jean Smart's track record here. We know she's got an endless one. I couldn't remember how many SAG awards she has at this point. 4 Hacks.
Okay, she won in 2021. She won in 2022. She won in 2024. It is the Jean Smart Award. But think about it. Catherine O'Hara won for Schitt's Creek in 2020.
Every time Jean Smart has been up for it, she's won.
She is the Christoph Waltz of this award.
Now the thing about it is, you could say, "Oh, that immediately rules her out," but that's not the way SAG works.
No, definitely not.
Ask Alec Baldwin if that's how SAG works.
Yeah.
What was it? The only season he lost for was the last season of 30 Rock, where he lost to Ty Burrell, but he won for every other one.
Right.
So this could absolutely stay the Jean Smart Award.
It could.
Especially since we're a month away still. But yeah, and I by the way, I did put out some information that's not entirely true in a previous video because my brain's wires got crossed.
No.
what I had said before was that Catherine O'Hara's barely in the studio. She's only in like 2 episodes.
I think you did say that.
She's in like half the show. The reason my wires got crossed is because, first of all, the show is 8 episodes.
Mm.
So she was in 2 episodes early on, and then I had a conversation after that where I was like, she's only been in like 2 episodes, but then she's in the Globes episode and she's in the Vegas episode.
Mm.
So it was, my mind was still in the before I had finished the show, before the show had finished thing, the season had finished. So she is there enough to make a mark for sure. And that, based on the outpouring we've had, based on they do have a history going the posthumous route because they did go Chadwick Boseman.
Yes, they did.
I feel like she's a pretty safe bet, even with Jean Smart here. Obviously, it's not going to surprise anybody if Jean Smart still wins.
Not at all.
But I think I'm going to go Catherine O'Hara.
What's the voting window? I was trying to find it this morning and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, you have to make sure you're specific too, because since both actresses for the studio are Catherines. I don't know if it says here. At least
I was looking for it this morning, trying to find out what my window was for. Ashley, usually you're on top of this. Do you know by any chance?
Checking. That's nomination voting.
I was trying to find it. I couldn't. I was very unsuccessful at it. And we were very dead today because of the weather. So
voting begins on the 14th, apparently.
14th of February?
No, January.
Okay, that's what I thought I saw. But when did it finish, or when does it finish?
February the 27th.
Oh yeah,
Catherine O'Hara's literally 2 days. 2 days before the ceremony.
Yeah, there's no way Catherine O'Hara's not winning this at this point. Oh my God, absolutely.
Yeah. The fact that the only other nomination she received pretty much across the board, in terms of both Globes and Emmys, if you take out her win for writing for SCTV Network 90,
heck yeah,
back in '82.
I love SCTV.
She was only acknowledged for Schitt's Creek and for what basically was the final season.
She won for Schitt's Creek in 2020.
So, yeah, I feel like it'd be a good way to sort of acknowledge her because, boy, you know, her and Eugene Levy and Tony Shalhoub are sort of like the people that have been out and out guild, you know, supported through and through for years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, the actors as they are now known even gave her and the ensemble of Schitt's Creek nominations in for season 5 before before they actually went with all the glory back in 2020. I'm trying to double check, who did she lose to that year? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Phoebe Waller-Bridge for Fleabag. So yeah, I think we're getting a posthumous nod.
I think I said it a long time ago. I don't remember if I didn't give you guys the context before. And now that I've given you the context, I can say this. My mom for the win.
All right. Actor in a comedy series?
Yes.
We got Ike Barinholtz for the studio, Adam Brody for Nobody Wants It, Ted Danson for Seth Rogen for the studio, and Martin Short for Only Murders in the Building. I love that Ike Barinholtz is here.
Yeah.
He's the only supporting performance. So I guess the obvious choice is Rogen.
Yeah.
We always say Ted Danson wouldn't surprise us. And I still feel that way.
He's still waiting on his first win, too.
And we got surprised by Martin Short last year.
He could win 2 years in a row.
Yeah, and he might show up this time since he knows it's a possibility now.
Maybe.
I'm trying to decide if Rogan is too easy.
It's crazy to think that statement in 2026, isn't it?
But I can't get it out of my head still how much I think Ted Danson is an option here.
I'm sure Adam Brody would like another shot after last year losing.
Yeah, for the record, this is a great list. All 5 of these people should be here. You especially threw me off just now because I actually wasn't even thinking about the fact that it doesn't happen.
Yeah, Danson really feels like he should have been involved. God, he feels like he should have get nominated for Cheers, and he never was.
I think this whole show is post Cheers.
Yeah.
I think SAG started in the awards started in the mid '90s.
I don't think Booker was really tearing down the lights there, so that wasn't going to happen.
Well, I actually really want to take the swing on Danson, but I'm going to play it safe and Rogan.
Okay.
And as we said, Martin Short again would not be surprising now.
Now we know that it's possible, yeah, for sure.
I do think if people are coming in here that haven't really followed SAG are going like, what the fuck are you all talking about? This SAG will throw curveballs, especially in TV. There could be somebody sweeping the season and SAG will throw the curveball. Remember, we were just talking about Fosse Verdon. Remember when Rockwell lost all year, and he was, and not only that, everybody thought it was going to be Jarrell Jerome.
Yes, I remember that.
And you can see the shock on everybody's face if you go back and watch that.
I think I went Rockwell that year. I don't recall, but I'm pretty sure I did.
Rockwell was the most shocked person.
I think I went Rockwell that year. You can see him in a theater next week. Thankfully. Fine.
So yeah, we always have to prepare for the curveballs, but which is why I'm really thinking it could very well be one of the veterans, but yeah, I'll stick with Rogan.
I like how I put that little tinge of doubt in your mind for a second there. I can't do that fairly often.
I'll go with Rogan, but I'm kind of thinking there's a chance that Rogan won't get it because it will be the ensemble that pulls it through. Kind of revealing my hand for a few minutes time.
Means different things, you gremlins. Like I said, before the internet gremlins took it away from me, that means why not both? I concur with Ashley's statement, but why not both? And yes, I think after he wins, he will thank Sal Saperstein. Finally.
I wouldn't count on it. So did we all say Rogan?
We all said Rogan.
Let's go ahead and wrap up comedy.
And I will be probably starting the studio within the next couple weeks, so
it's a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it, actually.
We got Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Hacks, Only Murders in the Building in the studio. I don't really have many doubts here. I feel like this one pretty easily is the studio. I don't want to regret saying too easily, but I feel really good about this being the studio.
The fact as well, the ensemble that's getting voted on is pretty sort of concentrated in that it's Barinholtz, Hahn, O'Hara, and Rogan, and then the only one that didn't get recognised, it's also credited, is Chase We Wonders. Whereas everyone else, it's at least 8 or 9 cast members. So yeah, studio for me as well.
Feel anything in this line. The other things in the lineup, I feel like they've had their time in the sun. I feel like this is the time for the studio to shine. And wow, the bear really fell off, didn't it?
Not a great season for it, honestly.
Jeremy Allen White was on quite a roll, and then he did this season of the bear, and Springsteen delivered me from nowhere, and it's like, well, maybe not.
So, drama?
Yes.
3 more and we're done with TV?
Thank goodness. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm just going to say it up front. I'm probably going to play it safe on 3. And
I feel like I am too.
I say, you know exactly what I mean by that.
Oh, yeah. I feel like we're probably going the same route, but I don't know. Maybe Ashley will take some swings. I guess we'll find out.
All right. For actress in a drama series, we've got Britt Lauer for Severance, Parker Posey for The White Lotus, Kerry Russell for The Diplomat, Ray Seahorn for Pluribus, and Emmylou Wood for The White Lotus. I mean, if SAG wants to take a swing, I suppose they could go Britt Lauer or Kerry Russell. Actually, if SAG wanted to be SAG, I honestly wouldn't be surprised by Parker Posey.
I think Kerry Russell would be an option.
I feel like Britt Lauer was prepared to run away with this season, and then Pluribus came out.
Yep. Nope, that's not the right person.
So I'm gonna play it safe and say Ray Seahorn, unless they decide to pull some kind of curveball.
Yeah. Pluribus for the win.
No reason not to bet on Ray here.
We're in a drama series. We have Sterling K. Brown for Paradise, Billy Crudup for The Morning Show, Walton Goggins for The White Lotus, Gary Oldman for Slow Horses, and Noah Wyle for Pit. We always talk about how fucking sneaky Billy Crudup can be.
Yes, very much so.
You know, Sterling K. Brown's got a lot of love for that show too. And
but...
of course, actors worship Oldman. He's never out of the conversation. But I feel like the amount of respect that Noah Wiley's really built up, that everybody's really been showing since the pit started. And again, we were saying before that the pit is actually fresh in people's minds now, despite coming out in January, because now season 2's already out. So it's very much still in their minds, I would say. So and as it's shown throughout the season already. So the safe bet would be Noah Wiley. So I would feel foolish if I went with anything else.
Yeah, I'm going with Noah as well.
You are.
And ensemble.
VR.
We got the Diplomat, Landman, the Pit, Severance, and the White Lotus. You know, I feel weird saying the word surprise. It probably technically wouldn't be, but if something was going to surprise here, I don't think Severance is out of this for ensemble. Especially since you got Tramel Tillman hanging out in there, who's maybe the most acclaimed of the cast apart from Lauer. Well, it's Arquette, Turturro, Walk, and you hear about this cast all the time. I actually feel like now right here in the moment, it could actually be either one between the Pit and Severance. Oh God. I have backed myself into a corner to where I'm a little scared right now. I'm afraid. Yeah, I'll still say the Pit, but man, I really almost just convinced myself to say Severance. Anybody else?
Severance. I think that's sort of the Pit seems to be, again, it's sort of because Noah sort of is the guy that's kind of figureheaded it. I can see him getting the recognition, but for the amount of love that Severance did receive, especially because who knows when we're getting another Severance episode. It seems like it's every few years, whereas the Pit, it'll probably do it next year. I doubt the Pit's going to go that dog shit, and the second season isn't going to get recognition either. So yeah, screw it. I'm going to say Severance, and everybody else gets a point for the Pit.
This is when I say White Lotus and confuse everyone. No, I ain't doing that. ER won 4 consecutive years. Grey's Anatomy won a time or two. And they really love their procedural medical dramas. And I feel that from what has been brought to my attention, the Pit is exactly what that is and then some. So I feel that it's going to be a continuation, and I'm going to also go with the Pit.
All right, let's do the movie categories.
Okay.
Let's do stunts before I forget about them because I almost did.
Fair.
For stunts in a movie, we've got F1, Frankenstein, Mission Impossible, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. I'd say we can narrow this down to 2, right? Mission Impossible and F1.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually thinking about this earlier. Of all the fucking categories, this is the one I was thinking about earlier.
It happens.
So here's the conclusion I came to. Mission Impossible is basically the poster child for this heavy focus on stunts we've had in the movie industry conversation lately, right?
Sure.
So it seems like,
Mm-hmm.
but then you also see that F1's stunt acclaim kind of comes for the same reason, even though it's not, like being underwater or being hanging off of planes or whatever, but it's still like the real driving and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And also the fact that F1 did very well guild-wise overall, leading to a Best Picture nomination.
Yes.
Is that going to push it ahead of Mission Impossible here? I'm going to go ahead and say yes. And say F1. But we all know if it's not F1, who it probably is.
It's kind of crazy that Mission Impossible's only won once.
Mm-hmm.
It missed out to Black Panther for Fallout, i.e. Mission Impossible 6, and then lost out to Mad Max Fury Road. But that's the most on par with it, I'd say, in terms of what it was up against. And then obviously it beat out Barbie, Guardians, Dial of Destiny, and John Wick Chapter 4, of which, yeah, it's crazy to think that that's the only John Wick that ever got nominated.
I love Black Panther. It beating Fallout in stunts is pretty weird.
So which one did you go for again, AJ?
I said F1.
it's weird because like so much of it technically would have been actual racing that's been incorporated into it. So I don't know how you can classify people racing for real in Formula One as stunt work, but certainly for the set pieces and whatever, I will give the edge to that one.
Yeah, it's definitely F1 here. I feel like it makes the most sense. And even if people are confused that F1 would be in here with the comment that Ashley made, I don't know if the GP would have an understanding of that to the point that they would not vote against it. So I feel like it's going to win. But you know what? Everybody wins here because there's not really, well, overall, there's not really a wrong answer here. Frankenstein kind of sticks out its sore thumb, but I mean, everything else is justifiable.
I mean, was that a visual effect, or was the guy that got his spine snapped at the beginning a guy doing a stunt?
I'm sure it was a visual effect.
No,
That's
yeah.
pretty impressive.
As I say, the stuff that basically wasn't involving too obviously the other drivers would be actual stunt work for the film, including the quote unquote 1993 Spanish Grand Prix, supposedly. Some of the bits that, because people have looked at the footage, you can tell, oh, right, so they've basically digitally imposed the livery and the look of the Apex team onto that car to make it look like it's, in more competitiveness. But like the bit where they crash into each other at the British Grand Prix and sort of, the various incidents and bursting into flames that happens just with the Apex team itself, that's all sort of stunt work. So
Well, it's not to mention, I imagine when you're looking at it from a movie studio's perspective, when one of those drivers is a multi-million-dollar actor, I imagine there's a lot of choreography very carefully done. If I had to guess.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready for our big ones?
Let's go.
Okay. So, for supporting actress, we've got Odessa Zion for Marty Supreme, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Amy Madigan for Weapons, Women Misaki for Sinners, and Tiana Taylor for One Battle After. I've been saying all season what I really, really, really desperately, essentially a Madigan sweep, which we have already derailed. And here's the thing: is being SAG, and again, if you've got a lot of history with a lot of actors over a lot of years, that's a good way to win a SAG award.
For sure.
Which would be Amy Madigan. Actually, it's Amy Madigan and then four pretty young people, right?
Basically, yes.
I'm not sure where Women Misaku is, but I feel like she's relatively new, at the very least. But the thing about
to the right
I
click
feel
of
like
Wikipedia.
What was that?
To the right click of Wikipedia, so I could bring up there. Right, so Odessa is 25. Ariana is 32. Madigan is 75. Wunmi is 39. And Tiana Taylor's 35.
So what happened here was, and I'm not even basing anything off the fact that Taylor won the Globe. What I am basing it on is the shift that was felt when Taylor's been getting a lot of spotlight. She's in the movie that's the presumed winner, and Weapons got one Oscar nomination. I felt like there was a shift. Now, mind you, Madigan's could still win here, but Taylor could still go the rest of the way.
That seems to be a possible chance.
But I am, and I like Taylor a lot. I don't get it as a winning performance. That's a little odd to me. But at the risk of further heartbreak, I'm gonna go ahead and say Taylor, even though I know what I'm like when that envelope gets opened and there's that couple of seconds before they say the name, what I'm waiting on. But I could also see Taylor just finishing the season out, and I'm gonna say that's the more realistic option, I guess, and that'll be that.
I think because of it being the actors, I'm gonna edge it to Madigan. On that one.
So I had a thought about this. Odessa Zion is kind of not really in this conversation at all on the surface. I've never had Basaku in this conversation personally, but obviously they didn't agree with me, so there's that. And you got to wonder if last year didn't happen the way it did, who would have been the one that would have been in number 2? And there's easy answers, but it really isn't as easy as you think it is. And I know that last year they didn't win. And I'm not saying this year they're going to win, because I don't think that's the direction, unless you use it as an award for the entire production itself. But I don't think people think that way. So this would be an easy for me to say Ariana Grande here, because she didn't win last year, and she probably was higher up in the conversation to win last year if Zoe Saldana didn't happen. Because I know everybody's still butthurt about Amelia Perez in every way possible. So it's like, let's say, take it out of the equation. Who would have won last season? I mean, there's a hard reason to believe that Grande was in the talks to win, and she could have taken SAG. The only other option would have been really Jamie Lee Curtis, which would have been nice. But then again, it's the weapons conversation. It's like, what did The Last Showgirl do versus what did Wicked do when it came to the Oscar nominations? So I could take a swing right now, and I could say Ariana Grande. Or I could take a swing right now and say what I was going to say all along. Which, again, since we don't look at each other's predictions, as always, someone has to take my thunder. But that's okay. Great minds think alike. AJ can't go with Amy Madigan, even though I know he wants to. He goes with Tiana Taylor because it feels like it makes sense. It's safe. It seems like it's going to be the answer. And it very well could be. It probably is, actually. Ashley has been quoted many times saying he's going to take stabs, like wild shots in the dark, things that are going to potentially boost his points and may change the game, literally. He's not dying on that hill alone. I am also going with Amy Madigan. And I think at this point, this is her big award. I feel like they do give it to her from the actors, like Ashley alluded to. And I feel that Tiana Taylor would probably move on the rest of the way, unless we get a wonderful surprise from Sentimental Value before this season is over.
Speaking of,
yes, indeed.
For supporting actor,
oh no, oops.
We've got Miles Caden for Sinners, Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, Jacob Frankenstein, Paul Mescal for Hamnet, and Sean Penn for One Battle After. So if you're not caught up on what we've been doing, I made a declarative statement recently, and BAFTA finally came out to help me finalize this thought. I was already having it pre-BAFTA, and I just had to have that happen at the BAFTA nominations to make sure this is the path I want to go down, and it is.
All right.
The thing that I'm on, and I feel like I'm gonna be on until the BAFTA ceremony, is I think whatever happens in this category won't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stellan Skarsgård will win BAFTA and then the Oscar. That's where I'm at.
Yes.
So, with that in mind, something we've seen before is the Idris Elba thing and the Emily Blunt thing.
Okay.
Where if there's not an open and shut case and a huge contender in the category is missing, SAG can go crazy and sometimes pick somebody that's not even Oscar nominated.
Yep.
It may only be Elba and Blunt as far as recent examples, but
there's some in the past for sure.
two is enough to make you think that could always happen again.
Yeah, certainly.
You know what has been crossing my mind, especially with the outpouring when he was nominated, is if Miles Caton randomly won this, is Delroy Lindo in the Oscar conversation in a serious way? Because this is a wide open category. Now that I've said all this, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say Del Toro. But honestly, if they wanted to, because Mescal got a bit of an outpouring over his snub.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, I feel like it could go that route. I know it's easy to say Del Toro and Penn would cancel out. I know Lordy got his Critics' Choice win, and that's regardless of it just being Critics' Choice, that does put him in the conversation.
Visibility is key.
So everybody here has a narrative. Because I feel like it's weird to me that Penn's become a bit of an underdog under Del Toro. But there's just so much love for that. I loved at the roundtable where Jesse Plemons did the jacket thing in front of Del Toro to show appreciation.
Solid.
But yeah, I mean, just looking at this, it's like I don't really have a definitive choice in mind, so I don't think the SAG winner is going to matter. It's another place I'm really coming from. So, because I've really sold myself on this. So, yeah, I feel like this one's way up in the air, so I'm going to go.
For 25 years of hurt since the traffic double win for both I think supporting in that one as well as ensemble.
I think here I think he was leading. He won the Oscar for supporting.
Let me double check. Benicio, tell me what award you want. Via right click on Wikipedia. Just double checking. Scroll down. Yeah, it was leading at SAG. Yeah, I'm going with Del Toro again because I just feel like it's actors being actors. It's the guy with more of the memes. the amount of times I've seen him doing the weird thing with the coat and sort of the dancing, surrender to the cops. It's like, yes.
I remember when supporting actor very normally went to the biggest heel on that list. Some of the best heel performances are supporting performances. In cinema history, that for sake of argument.
That 2007, 2008, 2009 run, Anton Chigurh, the Joker, and Hans Landa.
Yes. And if that were still the case, Sean Penn would be walking away with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we live in that world anymore. I think everything is a little bit more jovial and everything. They're going to more gravitate towards the Benicio performance. Both of them stick in your head for different reasons. And they're designed to do that. One's just going to make you laugh, and one's going to make you feel really uncomfortable for many, many minutes.
That's what's interesting about the theory that they would split votes is they're two completely opposite performances.
And they could be in two completely different movies, too, and it still would work.
Yeah, because in the best way possible, Penn is giving everything to Lockjaw, and Del Toro in this is the definition of effortless.
Because he doesn't have to be.
Yeah, the character is just coasting through the movie, and that's what makes him great.
I mean, it's basically two versions of the dude in different his performances and Leo's performance. Then you got Sean Penn, who's just being Mr. Hardass.com, and my God, it works in so many ways.
Well, the thing too is we were talking about the comparison of Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth being Bob and Sergio.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's like that's kind of the same. Like, it's not just that as them as characters, but Pitt's performance and Del Toro's performance very comparable. Because a lot of people were saying Pitt didn't do anything in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I'm obsessed with that character.
Throwing a little bit of Chad Feldheimer in there as well.
Well,
just a tad, small, just a little bit, like so you know that it's there.
I think Cliff Booth would kill Chad Feldheimer exactly the same way he died.
I think Cliff Booth has killed Chad Feldheimer. We just can't prove it.
Well, if you read the novel, yeah, he's Chad Feldheimer to a few people.
Miles Catton, your correlation with him and Delroy Lindo very well could be a possibility, especially if they go nutsoid for Sinners, which clearly they are, which I'm trying to make the blow a little bit more softer for everyone that doesn't follow the awards season like we do. It's not going to be a great night for Sinners. Not overall, not for wins. But that's fine. It's got visibility, and visibility is all you need to make something iconic. You don't need to win 1 billion Oscars. You just need to show up to the dance. And that's what Sinners is going to do. It's going to show up to the dance, going to win a couple of awards, and that's going to be the end. Hamnet's interesting, because Hamnet was a challenger for the win at one point, and then it wasn't. Now it's Jesse Buckley, and that's about it. Like I said, you might as well just go to Maggie Gyllenhaal's house for the pre-production party of The Bride and give her the Oscar right now. You can say hi to Bale while you're there. Anyway. Jacob Elordi, you got your Critics' Choice. Good job, buddy. Enjoy Wuthering Heights and probably most likely being the next James Bond. You know, I was going to say Paul Mescal here because of the backlash of the fact he got snubbed. And I can easily see that happening. You can see the acting awards going to Hamnet. Either. It's a fun year. It's going to continue to be a fun year. I'm going Benicio.
Well, speaking of the conversation you just had, this is probably the easiest one, right? Well, these next two are probably the well. Let's do
Depends
actor.
on if they want to go inspired or not,
Yeah.
or if you believe in such smear campaigns that may or may not exist on social media.
So for actress, we've got Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne for If I Had Kick You, Kate Hudson for Unsung Blue, Chase Infinity for One Battle for Another, Stone for. Well, I'm saying Jessie Buckley, and I'm prefacing that with, even though I'm saying it after the fact, that if Rose Byrne wants a chance, this would be it.
Yeah.
But and I don't think it's impossible, but I think Buckley's been in this position for a while now, so that's where I'm going.
Yeah, I think the woman that came second in a TV talent contest to possibly have been Nancy in Oliver Twist, or Oliver, I guess as you describe it. Finally gets her flowers. Yeah, I am saying Buckley as well.
I am exceedingly happier every single time I see Kate Hudson on these lineups. I really am very happy she's literally in this conversation. I mean, it's just to lose to Buckley, but I mean, I'm happy she's here. And in another world, in another life, I feel like Rose Byrne would be running away with this award. But Hamnet exists, and if Hamnet didn't exist, I think we're all under the same impression Rose Byrne would be the winner here.
Yeah, that seems right.
And as out there and disturbing and upsetting and unsettling that Rose Byrne is, in a phenomenal performance that she gives absolutely everything she has, Jessie Buckley just makes it look like child's play in just a few scenes and proves why we have been saying with certainty pretty much since day one she's winning the Oscar. This is going to be just another step. But I implore you, Actor Awards voters, prove me wrong. Make this a competition. Because right now, I'd like Rose Byrne to at least win something this season.
I mean, BAFTA could always do crazy shit too.
BAFTA's possible. I was
Remember-
thinking either SAG or BAFTA would go for Rose Byrne, but Buckley is so proven with both of those governing bodies with all of her filmography. I feel that it's over. And that's not a bad thing. It's not my winner. I know it's not AJ's winner either, but it's deserving.
Let us never forget what BAFTA did to the 2022 movies, where it in the Oscars didn't match any of the Big Eight.
Yes.
Big Six or Big Eight. So actor.
Someone say actor.
Okay, so this is interesting because we've got Chalamet for Marty Supreme, DiCaprio for Moon, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and Jesse Plemons for Bugatti. Again, I have to say the same thing every time we do actor. Amazing lineup.
Oh my God, yes.
No matter what, given the options they had, this was always going to be an amazing lineup.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the interesting thing is that the person that seems to be threatening Chalamet is. So I don't see this not being Chalamet. However, there is. I don't know how often smear campaigns really work. Because I mean, there's stuff like it's also a matter of what you even want to call a smear campaign. Because a smear campaign can also be the term can be dismissive of shit that's like actually a problem.
James Franco, sad pony. I cry still.
But like like Emilia Perez almost getting wiped off the planet last year, but the song and Tandy Newton just barely hanging on, and then the speech for Song kind of being, I guess, the very last nail in its coffin. You had one piece of dignity left. But the other thing is that we talked about in TV they love doing repeat actors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it happens in the movies very often, does it?
Not really.
And this would be Chalamet going 2 in a row if he went.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm not saying that's like super weird or anything, but
Look at this list.
I don't know. I don't know. I raise a little bit of an eyebrow to the fact that it's gonna be Chalamet. I'm gonna say him because I wouldn't know who else to go with. But I mean, hey, if we can start an Ethan Hawke thing, that'd be really cool.
I would greatly want. I want that more than any.
And of course, my favorite performance on any list is Jordan in Sinners. I would love to see that. But Chalamet's my least favorite performance in actor because I fucking love Flemings. And of course DiCaprio. So I'm saying Chalamet, but it almost feels like it's default. Like seriously, it really feels like I know he put movie. I don't want to credit him for anything, but it also kind of feels like let's let the kid have it. Let's let's let him take a break from all of this. Just it's like giving a kid a teddy bear and telling him to go take a nap. Like just give him the trophy and let him cool off.
Getting mad Adrian Brody flashbacks right now, sir.
Well, Adrian Brody's the one that got us into this mess of he'd be winning twice in a row. If Brody had just won this last year, I wouldn't really even be thinking about this. But again, I don't know where else to go. And I don't think smear campaigns are as much of a thing as they're led to be. So I'm sure he's fine, and I'm just trying to make it exciting when it's not.
I'd love it to be Hawk.
That's the right answer.
I'm probably making a mistake here, but I'm gonna say Jordan.
Wow.
Interesting.
I'd jump through the fucking roof.
Part of me is I don't think it's just because of the Mighty Supreme sort of backlash supposedly behind it. I think it's Chalamet's had some recognition and has been clearly pushing for it for a while. To some extent, Sinners is exactly the same for Jordan. And part of me, I feel, is that's I'd like to see that more. It's probably it's probably a mistake. It's going to be I should have just said Chalamet, but in order to catch up some points, I've got to start making some risks. So go down with the ship.
Here's my question. How is Leonardo DiCaprio not more in this conversation?
I'm gonna guess he's
Oversaturation throughout the years? He hasn't won since The Revenant.
I mean, I would assume if Wagner Moore wasn't in this, assume he, like when I say Loki, I mean like he's like pretty high second. But that's just not really. Chalamet's been such the conversation of this whole category.
Right.
You don't realize how loved DiCaprio's performance is, that it's probably not as far away as it seems.
And with Mora not being in the actor award, we don't know exactly if he would be. Obviously, you'd think he would probably lose here, but I would say he's really good reason to believe he would be a second or a third for sure.
Yeah, because we did already have the conversation, but in case people weren't here,
Mm-hmm.
that Moore is one of those performances where even though it seems he's barely in the conversation because he's missed SAG and a BAFTA.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why are we saying he'd be the alternate choice to Chalamet at the end of the day? But again, it's the Regina King thing. Sometimes there's just something in the air
Mm-hmm.
with a performance, and you know that that's the direction it's going. And everything in between is just kind of a bit of a mess.
I think Jordan is definitely the people's choice at this point. I would say if you asked randos on the street who they want to win the Oscar, and they give them those five people, I think Michael B. Jordan would be the answer. At least three out of five people we'd ask.
Better be.
And there's no reason for that not to be the case because everybody went absolutely nuts for Sinners. And again, I have to defend this every time. I don't dislike Sinners. I like it. It's not one of my favorite of the year, but I like it. I liked it better the second time. So Ashley going with Jordan here is not out of the realm of possibility. It actually could be a surprise. It could be Jordan's only big win of the season. You never know. Could go either way. Played the joke ever since I got the sticker at water parks, and there's no reason not to continue. Yes, I know him. He winning SAG.
Shout out to Jesse Plemons for being here.
Yeah, no lie.
I'm glad. It's actually been really nice to see the rage after he missed.
The only person I cared about in the whole season when it came to actor was Ethan Hawke.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter as long as he finally got that Oscar nomination, I'm glad. He absolutely deserves it. And he's going to get some accolades from us sometime in the next couple months anyway. So don't worry about it. I got you, Ethan. I got this.
Yeah, in about a month and a week, we'll probably be doing that, or something like that.
Yeah, when we take our break before the Oscars, we'll be doing our personal lineups, and I can say this on camera for the first time. I talked this with AJ. AJ, you and Ashley can do it too if you want. You don't really have to give necessarily an explanation why, because I'm not. I'm just going to give you an order, and you're just going to have to figure out why. But everything I saw in the theater in 2025, I'm going to label, basically. I'm going to do a list of everything I watched theatrically in order. I'm not going to tell you what the reason is, and then we'll get to the five bottom, which will be the worst movies of the year, and then to the top, we'll get the five, which would be 11 through 15, which will be my honorable mentions, and then we get to my top 10, which is going to play very heavily into my nominations. So if Ashley and AJ want to do that too, feel free.
I don't.
That is fair. If you don't, it's a big deal. I'm going to do it anyways. I think it'll be fun because I'm curious to see what order I put things.
Well, my list.
In order?
In the order I saw them, yeah.
Oh, okay. So not in the order that you want to put them.
No, that would be difficult.
So I'm going to go the extra mile this year because obviously I don't really have a lot to say about the movies that I love so much. I never have. A
So
little
you're
bit of
so you're saying this is ranked?
yes, that's what I'm doing.
Oh wow.
I'm not going to tell you the reason why. I'm literally just going to tell you the number order, and that's going to be the end of it. So it's just going to be me reading a number as like 122. This movie. 121. This movie.
Should we finish out with ensemble?
This seems so easy on paper, but it could be so difficult given the fact of what SAG has done in the past with ensemble.
This is one I've thought about, and I have an answer.
I still haven't made my complete decision yet. I had an idea in mind, and then something made me go away from it. So I have to really think on my feet here.
All right. For ensemble, we've got Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After. I'm gonna jump right into it. I'm saying Sinners.
Okay.
One Battle would be an obvious choice. Marty Supreme is stunt casting the movie. So that's
Pendulum.
so there's that.
Tad bit biased. Tad.
We've been saying this all fucking night, and I'll go ahead and end the night on it too. It could be Hamnet.
It definitely could be Hamnet.
The only thing I'm not looking at is Frankenstein.
Yep, that's correct.
But I feel like this could be a really. You were saying before about what will ultimately be Sinner's lack of wins.
When we
And
get to the Oscars.
in the grand scheme of things, I think this would be a really solid. If you're gonna be second place, this is yeah.
So you're
It,
saying
it does feel it does feel like there's a lot of examples of this being either this is a not so obvious propeller to winning picture
mm-hmm.
when you get stuff like Crash and Spotlight and Parasite,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Sure.
And then there's cases where it's like,
Don't you dare.
hey, here's a solid second place prize. Then there's a lot of examples of here's this random choice because why not?
Sure.
I'm feeling this one of those second place prizes.
Okay.
So,
Hmm. The key thing with them as well is they've all got the right succinct casting lists to make it like if you look at those performances, I could see Frankenstein's the least likely, but I could see it partially because of like the people that aren't Isaac and Elordi. I think I'll agree and go Sinners though. I'm not sure between that and One Battle After Another, but if we're just highlighting the names, Sinners has got, I want to say, more standout ones. It's weird to see that Penner's Lockjaw isn't like as standout as I hoped it'd be. Because, dear lord, some of the times he's chewing scenery, but that's the idea of the Lockjaw character, so. But yeah, I think Sinners might actually get it here. Again, I'm trying to look at this as an ensemble rather than what wins Best Picture. Because that would explain, Trial of the Chicago 7 a few years back.
All right. right, so I'll give my explanation. Frankenstein's not in this at all. Just take it off the thing. It's 4 nominees. You have Hamnet, which, it's not nearly performed as well as we thought it was going to, but it did pretty decently when it actually got its nominations. I can see a world where Hamnet wins this. Marty Supreme, I'm a little biased towards because that means that Penn Jillette is a part of an ensemble that wins a major award, which would make me super happy. But I feel that if they're going to go anything for Marty Supreme, it's going to be Chalamet and Chalamet only, at least as it pertains to this show. Then we get to the big heavy hitters. Sure, it's easy to say that if Sinners wins this, everybody's going to be like, oh, it's over. The race is over. Sinners is winning Best Picture. No, not guaranteed there. And we could live in a world where PTA wins his director Oscar that he deserves and Sinners can still win Best Picture. And I know that's possible.
It's confusing the way we're having to do it, but let's also not forget that BAFTA will actually be first.
Yeah, but it's not helpful at all.
As far as if people are going to see the results of this as a shifting.
It's visibility. Yeah, and we don't know how BAFTA took to Sinners overall when it comes to awards because we won't know for a month. So, yeah, I can see people seeing this and being like, oh, BAFTA, it did what it did, and Sinners, and then SAG did what it did, and Sinners, and it's like, oh man, the tide has changed, brother. It's gonna be a new winner. Sinners is winning Best Picture. I swear to you. It's like, I don't think that's happening. It's not out of the realm of possibility for Sinners to win this. But as you think of Sinners, or as a lot of people think of Sinners winning this as an ensemble and for the ensemble, I look at it as SAG's version of Best Picture. Whether it is or not, it's the closest thing we have to it. So if this can win, then a lot of people are going to say, okay, maybe the tide has changed. Maybe we've got a new winner and we need to start like reveling in the fact that Sinners is going to win Best Picture. And I'm not against that, not overall, but it's not my answer and it's not going to be my answer. So I'm not believing that just yet. So I'm going to go safe here, or at least what I believe to be safe. And I knew as soon as Ashley picked Jordan, he was going to go Sinners here. And I actually was like almost wrote it right down, just thinking that he was going to follow suit with what AJ said. And it is a way to celebrate the entire cast, not just Jordan, by giving them ensemble. But you say the same thing about Hamnet. You say the same thing about Marty Supreme. Or you'd say the same thing about what's going to win Best Picture. Lots of different choices, and I'm sorry I've had to go on and on about this, but it's just like a lot of things in my head trying to figure out what I want to pick. One battle after another.
And we've reached a solid 2 hours.
I was not trying to pad the runtime by doing that. Contrary to popular belief, I was really not trying to do that.
Yeah, that's SAG a month in advance.
And some of the guilds a month in advance.
Yeah. Yeah, so again, DGA is the only reason we have to do this early, apparently.
Hopefully in 2027, this calendar will right itself and we'll go back to normalcy. Because I don't like the order of this stuff. I don't think any of us do.
At least we went old-fashioned and got Critics' Choice first, like we did in the old days. Let's start.
The old days is we have freaking Spirits the day before the Oscars, like it should be.
Yeah.
speaking of that, looks like we'll be back here Thursday night, somewhere between 5 and 6. Haven't really set a time yet for
It's a week on Thursday, right?
Huh?
It's a week on Thursday rather than this Thursday. I mean, I don't mind either because
Live conference for the live chat. For the non-existent live chat, do we want to go ahead and do this Thursday or next Friday? Next Thursday.
I would probably say next Thursday.
That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I want my candy and I want to enjoy it after I work till 5 o'clock. Forget that noise.
Yeah.
So we might start at 5:30. We might start at 6. We might start at 5. It honestly depends on. As I disappear for a second. Have a look at the schedule. Sorry. Yeah, it's going to have to be either 5:30 or 6.
That should be fine with me.
I would say Spirits 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Thursday night.
6 will be easier to remember, probably.
I get off at 5, and I don't really want to. I'm already going to be hungry anyway, and I'm going to have to not eat until after the show's over. So yeah, there's that.
Let's end this.
Yes.
So yeah, that's your rough lineup as to what we'll be doing. And as I say,
Basically,
we've got BAFTAs the week after that, so we'll have to get predictions in for that, and then we'll probably that even though we'll have major awards coming out that time, that sort of the season, that gap in between predicting BAFTA and predicting the Oscars is probably where the personal picks and everything will come in, as well as the wind back to 2009.
the 2009 retrospective will be between the first break we have and the personal picks, and if we chose the winners and the nominees would be right before the Oscars. That's your show. So thanks everyone for watching. I know we didn't have a live chat tonight. We will in the future. Do not worry. We don't on nominations because when we're talking about predictions, it's easier just to not have it. We'll discuss it later with everyone in the future. So that's not a problem. More content is coming very soon. Ashley will be found on X at Ash is my name UK. AJ cannot be found on social media, but there'll be more content from AJ and Ashley coming in the very near future. I'm sure there's some Speaking Bluntly's coming very soon because I saw the Disclosure Day trailer again today. Got paid for it. Super awesome. And yeah, you get even more hyped for that movie. And The Devil Wears Prada too, for that matter. So yeah, lots of fun things.
I completely forget that she plays Emily, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, lots of cool things to check out on the channel. The pretty much daily content is going to continue. Today's video is what you're watching right now. Tomorrow we could be anything from a sip and snack to a snack stash to movie content to more voices content. Like I said, I got a plethora of videos and get you all the way to Horror Nights this year. So yeah, trust me, it's going to be a lot of cool things. And who knows, maybe we'll talk a little bit more Horror Nights adjacent stuff, or maybe we already are. I guess you'll just find out when you do. That's going to be the show for tonight. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for listening. Always remember to have the best day ever. 'Tis the season after all. Feet don't fail me now. So in the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. Stream Water Parks, the new anti song is available on as we speak. If you want to download that, check it out. Obviously, with what's going on in the world right now, yeah, we have one thing and one thing only. If you're not political at all, you don't have to be. Just literally listen to it because, yeah, it's something that needs to be heard right now. That being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.